If It Bleeds by Stephen King for my next read, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on in this reading vlog.
And of course, we're bringing snacks.
And then I bought 2 Stephen King books. There's 4 short novellas in here, so we have 4 stories. And soon she discovers that this man has multiple identities, multiple faces, like he can physically change himself. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel and a new reading vlog. Today is Thursday, March 9th. It is about 12:30 and I need to head to work soon, but I wanted to start a new reading vlog before that because I thought it was time. After finishing my last book, Fairytale by Stephen King, I was still in the mood for the writing style of Stephen King, so I've decided to start If It Bleeds by Stephen King for my next read, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on in this reading vlog. Starting in this reading vlog. So I don't know too much about this book. I've had it for my shelf for quite a while, but I haven't really been too interested in reading it until now, honestly. After checking out the reviews on Goodreads, it had pretty many good reviews and I feel like a lot of people seem to like it. All I really know about this one is that there is 4 short novellas in here, so we have 4 stories, which is actually pretty common with Stephen King. I have a few other books by him where he has more than 1 story, which I personally really enjoy. It can be a hit or miss, but we're gonna go in with positive and good feelings about this one, so hopefully it will turn out good. I have no idea about any of the stories. I have no idea what they're about, what kind of stories they're gonna be, but I've heard some great things about this book and I'm really excited to finally get into it. It's a pretty okay sized book, and for it being 4 stories, I think they're gonna be decent amount of pages of each story. I think it's gonna be good for a change to have shorter stories, because the last book I read was pretty hefty and like so many pages with 1 story, you know what I mean? Which can be good if you really like it, if you're really invested in that story, in that world, it can be great. But it tends to be boring if you follow like the exact same thing for 600 pages. Like it can be quite a lot and you can get bored of both the story and the characters, to be frankly. So I think this is going to be good that we have 4 shorter stories instead of 1 long. Hopefully. I mean, I don't know, but we're being positive. Unfortunately though, I'm not going to be able to start this today because I haven't been reading today. I just had to study all morning and now I'm heading to work, so I'm not going to have time to read this today. I might start it tonight depending on how tired I am. We'll see. But hopefully I'm going to start this book by tomorrow. So yeah. But yeah, I have to head to work now and it's cold out there, so I'll have to bundle up. But yeah, I'll see you guys either tonight or tomorrow.
And of course, we're bringing snacks. The essentials for a good work shift.
I'm not thinking about the way you keep my world from spinning. I'm just thinking about your eyes. Just don't know if I've been faking or pretending, but I know I never felt so damn alive. I don't know if I believe the information given, that there is someone by your side. Coming back inside my body for a second, there is no way that I'm never gonna try. Hello, where you at, where you been? Tell me everything about you, go slow, so I can write it down and become the perfect man for you. What you like, what you don't, you should never be flying so low.
Good morning guys, it is the next day, Friday. It's around 8:30 in the morning and I just woke up, which you can clearly tell. I don't have work today. I'm up early because me and a friend are going out of town to visit another friend that lives elsewhere. And we are soon heading out. She's picking me up at 9 and then we're gonna go get some snacks and then we're hopping on the train. That takes like around 2 hours and then we're there. And then we're gonna go and stroll around, shop a little before our other friend gets off work and we can hang out with her. And then we're spending the night there at her apartment. But I wanted to come on here before I leave because I did start this last night, as you guys saw, and I did read a little bit. Not too much because I worked all night and I was really tired and I knew I had to be up early today, so I kind of just wanted to sleep. But I did start it and I got up to page 24. So honestly, I cannot say anything really. Like I like it so far, but like I haven't really gotten into a story or anything. One thing I noticed that I don't like in this book is that, you know, there are 4 stories. These separate stories don't have chapters. So you have like one story, there's no chapters, and yeah, there are short stories, but they're still pretty long. Like, you know what I mean? They're a couple of pages. And I'm a person who, I'm freaking out if I stop mid-chapter. I need like a closure when I stop reading. Like when I put my bookmark, I need like something to separate the text, you know what I mean? You don't have that in here. You have to stop middle of something going on, or like middle of a page, and I hate that because I need chapters so I can stop there. It makes my soul at peace, which I can't do here. So that's something I hate, and I checked, at least for like the first story, it doesn't have chapters. I'm not sure about the 3 others, but yeah, so I don't like that. But otherwise, I'm enjoying the vibe so far from the first story. The first story is called Mrs. Harrison's Phone, or Mr. Harrison's Phone, I think. And I haven't really gotten too much, so I feel like I can't really explain anything yet of the story. Fun because we follow, as for now, like a little bit back in time when the first iPhone got released, and he referenced a lot of things that like were popular back in that time, or like they talk about the stock marketing, like that you should put some money in the company Apple because I think it's going to be huge in the future, which like obviously was correct. So it's kind of fun like that. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, but I can't say anything because I haven't gone into the story yet, or this story. But I'm planning on taking this with me on the train, and we'll see if I get some reading done. Sometimes me and my friend just want to talk, or sometimes you're in the mood for music, sometimes you just want to sleep. But I'm gonna bring this with me on the train to hopefully read either like on the train there or on the train home tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see. Hello guys, it is Sunday. I think last I updated you guys was on Friday, when I was headed out to meet up my friend to go see another friend in another city, which was great. We stayed there Friday to Saturday night and we had a great time. It was great to see them, catch up, talk. We ate Indian food in the evening and we watched movies and we talked and we just had a great time. It was nice to see them again after, it's been a while since we all 3 got together and met up. So that was really nice. I had a great start to my long weekend off work. Then I took the train home alone on Saturday because my friend was staying longer because she didn't have any other plans, but I had plans last night. So I got home, I got ready and headed out like immediately again. So it's been a hectic weekend for me, which is why I really haven't vlogged it that much, also because I've been wanting to experience these things and really be in the moment and meet these people that I've been seeing without having to worry about like reading or vlogging. But yeah, yesterday me and my boyfriend was with his family and we were there for a pretty long time, actually like late evening, which was good. And we slept in pretty late today, which is good because tonight me and my boyfriend are staying up watching the Oscars. And this, you guys, have been a dream of mine for a real long time. Like the Oscars always airs nighttime here because the time difference, obviously, like California, it's in the middle of the night here, and it's always a Sunday to a Monday in the middle of the night, and I usually always work the Monday, so I never been able to do it, even if like I've dreamt of doing this. To be completely honest, I've always felt like that would be such a cool thing to actually do and experience. So this is like a planned thing. This is not a spontaneous thing. Me and my boyfriend has planned this because I was supposed to work tomorrow, but I took a day off so that we could do this. So this is like a planned thing and I've been looking forward to it, and tonight is the night and I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have someone to share it with, like that both me and my boyfriend are such movie nerds that we would want to do this, you know, stay up all night to watch this. And I'm not sure that we're gonna stay up all night because I'm already tired and it's 7:30, so but we'll see. At least we're gonna try, and I think it's gonna be a really fun and cool experience, and to share that with him is gonna be really cool, and I'm so freaking excited about it. So it's currently 7:30. I'm gonna meet up with him at 8 and then we're gonna buy some snacks and then head over to his place, and I know, chill, relax. I'm gonna bring my book, and then the red carpet starts at 11 tonight, and the actual gala starts at 1, I think, and it goes on until 4:30 in the morning. So we'll see how much we actually like get to see it, but it will be fun either way. Like, even if it's just up 1 hour to watch it, like, I'm happy. If we try at least, like, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, so it's been a pretty hectic weekend. I've had a lot of plans, which I'm really not used to, and it's kind of overwhelming, but I'm actually surprised over how well I managed to do it. You know what I mean? Usually I can only handle like one big experience or like one big social event, and then I need multiple days to like reset because I'm sensitive and I have social anxiety, and it's just a lot for me usually. But this weekend has been really fun, and I'm so proud of myself, and I honestly feel really good. I don't feel like it's been too much. I think it's just been a great weekend. But yeah, before I start talking about the book I'm currently reading, which is It Bleeds by Stephen King, and I've gotten some progress in that, I wanted to show 3 books that I bought when I was away with my friends. She lives in a city that has this really cool bookstore that I always go to buy books. I've done like a book shopping video in that bookstore, so go watch that if you like. It's a really cool bookstore, and I bought 3 books. I definitely could have bought more, but I definitely limited myself, and I've just gotten back into reading, so I don't want to overwhelm myself with buying so many books that I can't even like comprehend it. And I think it's a pretty good haul. So let me show you guys the 3 books that I bought that I'm very excited about. Since I haven't been in the book world in a while, I'm very late to all the new releases, and I don't really keep up anymore with the new releases like I used to. So I had no idea that this was coming out or had just come out, and then I don't know if it was on YouTube or Instagram that I saw it, and I checked the website and this bookstore had it. So immediately in the bookstore I went and looked for it, and I found it. The bookstore had 1 hardback version left, so I immediately grabbed it, and that is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. If you know me and you've watched this channel for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of Grady Hendrix. He's written some really cool books like My Best Friend's Exorcism, Horror Stir, The Final Girl Support Group, and The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. These are all books that I've really enjoyed. So when I saw that he had a new book coming out, I really needed to grab it, and I'm so excited to read it. It's not a very big book, and I don't know anything about it. I have not even read the back, but it was Grady Hendrix, so I really wanted to buy it. I think we all have those authors that like is an instant buy for you, you know, that you buy even if you haven't heard of anything of the book, but just because it's that author that you really like, you want to buy it. I feel like Grady Hendrix is one of those authors for me, or like Stephen King, I don't know. And then I bought 2 Stephen King books in these really cool. I have a few of these. They are really cool. The new editions that line up to like a rainbow, they're really cool. But I got the Tommyknockers by Stephen King, which I don't know anything about. I just bought it because it's Stephen King and I want to read all of his books. So, but I have like heard people talk about it. Some of his books are like really unknown to me. Like I haven't even heard the title or anyone mention it, but this one I have heard of, like I've known of it, but I don't know what it's about. So, but I bought it. And then Full Dark No Stars by Stephen King, which I have not heard anyone talk about. I've seen it in bookstores before. I've seen it in this bookstore before, but I've never heard anyone talk about it. I haven't read any reviews. I have no idea what it's about, but again, it's Stephen King, so I bought it and I want to read it. So yeah, this was my little book haul. I'm very excited about the books, and yeah, it was so much fun to roll in a bookstore again and shopping books. Like it's such a thing that brings me so much joy, and such a great haul. But yeah, let's get to the book that I'm reading. I'm reading It Bleeds by Stephen King, as you all know, and I've gotten up to page 91, and this is a story that has, this is a book that has 4 novellas in it, and I just finished the first story that's called Mr. Harrison's Bone, and that story was only about like 88 pages, so it wasn't long at all, but I really enjoyed it. I would have loved to see more of that story actually, because it ended pretty abruptly, but again, I get it, like it was a good ending, but also it left you really on the edge and like you wanted answers, because you definitely did not get answers to what was happening. At least I don't think we did. At least I didn't get the answers that I wanted from this story, but I really enjoyed it. So in this story we had this boy named Craig, and the story is told from his perspective, but like it has happened, you know, it's not currently happening, it has happened. So you hear from his perspective, and he's telling this story from the future. So we follow him from when he's a little kid to up in high school. And again, like we had in Fairy Tale, Stephen King creates very beautiful relationships between people that are not related, Like, it's weird, but also really beautiful. But basically, Craig gets this job opportunity, or like job extra money, to read stories for this guy, Mr. Harrison, that's old, he's retired, he doesn't really have any family, any kids, anything. So Craig gets to read stories for him in exchange for money. So it's kind of like a job, but not really, because he's a kid, you know, an extra thing to do after school. And these two kind of bond and creates a relationship with each other. And again, Stephen King has a way of creating really beautiful relationships between people very unexpectedly and very suddenly, and with this age gap. I've seen it before, I've read it before, and he does it really well. And we get to follow these people in the early 2000s, like when the iPhone is released, and Craig learns Mr. Harrison how to use a phone, you know, all the new technology and what's happening in the world, and how they get to know each other while Craig is reading for him. He's also helping him watering the plants, and they talk about life, and they become friends, you know what I mean? They become friends, they become close. And then Mr. Harrison dies, and you get to follow along on that, kind of like how Craig is taking that, and what a sad experience that is. And at the funeral, Craig thinks it's a good idea to put the new iPhone that Craig actually gave Mr. Harrison and taught him all about it. That exact iPhone Craig thinks would be a good idea if he got buried with. So at the funeral, it's an open casket. He puts the iPhone in his like jacket, Mr. Harrison's jacket, in the coffin, so that he can be buried with it, because he thinks that's a good idea and that's like a beautiful thing. And he felt like that would be the right thing to do. I don't know, like it's a momentum for them, like the iPhone brought them together kind of. So he thinks that he should have it. And on the iPhone, he writes a message, like a note, like thank you for the memories, thank you for everything, love, Craig, like something like that. And that's that, you know, he's dead. And we get to follow Craig as he's in school. He gets bullied from this kid, and how days later that kid dies, and how other people around Craig dies, kind of how other people that treats Craig badly dies, or that Craig thinks treated other badly dies. And that's kind of odd. He also gets messages from his phone from Mr. Harrison's username that he had used to have on the phone, which is also really odd. So for a moment he's like, what's going on? Is someone pranking me, or is he actually alive? Did we bury him alive? Like, it's really airy, because he would send stuff that only kind of they knew, you know what I mean? Like, it's really airy. So when Mr. Harrison dies, odd things are happening. Other people are dying that's treated Craig badly, or people around him badly. And that's kind of how it ended. Like, you don't really get an answer to what's going on. I do think it was a beautiful story, and it had a lot more than what I explained. It had a lot of like side stories. You got to kind of know Craig's father a bit. You got a relationship with him and like Craig's schoolmates, a specific teacher. Like, there was a lot of good characters in here, more than Craig and Mr. Harrison, even though they were the mains, obviously. But yeah, it was very eerie, but also very exciting, spooky, and I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I really connected with the story, but I definitely think that it could be longer and a better ending. But yeah, I'm enjoying the book so far, and I obviously enjoy the first story. And now I'm on the second story, called The Life of Chuck, I believe, and I've only read like a few pages of that, so I cannot say what that's about yet. I have no idea. But I really enjoyed the first story, and I'm excited to read more. I'm gonna bring the book tonight to my boyfriend's place. Not sure I'm gonna read anything, but at least I've had it with me in case I want to. Hello guys, it is Monday. It's around 6 o'clock in the evening, and I'm hopping on here to update about the book, but also to talk about the Oscars. So I definitely could not stay up all night as predicted. I don't know when I fell asleep. I think I fell asleep around 2 or 3, and the show ended at 4:30. So I saw like the first couple of awards, but I missed the big ones, the big names and the biggest nominations. I missed that, which sucks. But my boyfriend catched me up, and I've seen TikToks all day about the winners. So, but yeah, my boyfriend actually did stay up all night to watch it, which I'm so impressed, like how he could do that. We were high on sugar, we baked, and we had lots of candy and stuff to like stay awake, but I could just not do it, but he could, so that was fun. That was great. I'm not too invested in the nominees. We said that we were going to be better prepared next year, because I've not seen any of the movies that were nominated, unfortunately, but I did like the actors that won, so I'm happy, and my boyfriend was happy about the winners too, so success. But yeah, I've been off work today as well, and I've been studying and I've been reading and doing laundry, and then tomorrow I have school. So I have read quite a bit in this book, and I don't think I mentioned also, but I'm actually tabbing it. I have quite a few tabs because I've been enjoying many parts of the story so far. So, but yeah, I've gotten up to page 189, and I'm on the 3rd story as for now. So there are 4 stories in here, and I'm on the 3rd one. I talked about how I really enjoyed the first one, Mr. Harrison's Phone. The second one was called The Life of Shuck. Did not really care for that a whole lot. And then this 3rd story that I'm reading is called If It Bleeds, like the title of this book. So, and so far, If It Bleeds have a lot of tragic and, how do you say it, like really hard topics. It talks about a lot of difficult things, and it's very like tragic and sad, and it's not really a positive story. I feel like it just has, I mean, this book in general has a lot of topics they bring up that's very dark and difficult, but it's important to talk about them and read about them and get knowledge about them. I think it's definitely great, but it's dark to read about, and it's sometimes hard to read about. So in this 3rd story, we have this bombing happening at a middle school, I think, where a lot of kids and teachers passed away, and as people are trying to figure out who did it, and it's just really tragic. Obviously, I'm still enjoying this book. I obviously really enjoy Stephen King's writing, and he has a way with characters, as we all know, and his way of telling stories. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm actually gonna hop in the shower now, then eat some dinner, and then I kind of want to read more tonight. I feel like I should take advantage of when I do have days off from work and school. So yeah, I would actually love to read some more tonight. Hopefully I can do it. I should be able to do it. My boyfriend is probably gonna come over, but maybe to watch something, but I'm probably gonna read and he gets to watch TV because I'm in a reading mood and I want to keep it that way. Also, I forgot to show, I bought a new bookmark as well when I bought the books that I showed earlier in this vlog. It's really pretty. It's just like, it's a leather bookmark, and then it has this like little flowery thing. I thought it was really cute, and I wanted like a prettier bookmark. I only have cheap ones. I don't know, I just wanted one that was a little bit fancier. So cute.
Here is a better look at the bookmark. So on this page it says Travel Green, read a book, and it's leather, and then this is like the name of the brand, which I cannot really say. And then here is the little flower. It's really cute.
Good morning, Tuesday. No, it's not morning, it's literally 12:30. But I'm heading to school, and I just wanted to pop on here and let you guys know that I did read quite a bit last night, and I'm hoping to read more this afternoon or like tonight after school, but we'll see. Sometimes when I'm in school I get really inspired and I just want to study all night, and sometimes I get so sick of it that I don't even want to open a textbook. So we'll see what mood I'm gonna be in today after school. But I got up to page 215 last night, and I'm still reading If It Bleeds. It does seem like If It Bleeds is like the main story. It does feel like If It Bleeds is the longest story, which is probably why it's called If It Bleeds, because the other 2 stories that I've read has been quite short, to be honest. So I think this is gonna be the longer one of the 4. Also, one thing I've discovered that I did not know is that If It Bleeds is like a direct continuation to his story The Outsider. So if you have read The Outsider, this might be interesting for you, but it's only like If It Bleeds, so one of the stories. I have not read The Outsider. I've had it on my like TBR/wish list for quite some time. I've always wanted to read it, but I don't think I own a copy. I definitely haven't read it. So kind of bummer that I did not read that first, but I don't think it's like not a direct connection maybe, or like not a direct continuation, but more so like you follow the same characters. And if you have read The Outsider, you do have a better sense for it. Like it gives you maybe a little bit of background information, I guess. Like it's not about the same thing, but she does talk about The Outsider that happened a long time ago, you know? So I think it's good if you have read that, because then you get a better understanding that I, who has not read it, don't possess right now, which sucks. But it's definitely on my TBR. I'm definitely gonna read it, so that will be fun. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that I had no idea, and it's pretty cool when he does that, like has continuations or you follow the same characters. from different books of his. I feel like that's pretty cool, but also a little bit confusing, because how was I supposed to know that? Like, I think I saw someone write it on Goodreads, like otherwise I would not have known. I feel like it's a little bit of confusion with his works sometimes when he does that. It's just like The Shining and Dr. Sleep. So in Dr. Sleep you follow when the kid is all grown up, which like I did not know either, but that's gonna be fun to read. But yeah, I'm still really enjoying it. It's still really dark and harsh to read, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm hoping to read more after school, which I need to go to right now. I actually woke up feeling pretty anxious today, and I have been feeling that. Probably that's why I slept so long, because I didn't want to handle my feelings. So sleep will get those feelings off, obviously, because you're asleep, you don't notice those feelings. So I literally just woke up and I just had breakfast and I'm heading to school. But yeah, I want to say that I'm anxious today. So just heading to school is an accomplishment for me today, because I almost decided I wasn't going, but I realized like it's just gonna get worse then. So I'm gonna go and hopefully have a good session there. Hopefully I'm gonna get things done and accomplish things, but if I don't, it's okay. Like, I'm trying and it's okay. And then we're gonna get home, hopefully read and calm my anxiety a little bit. Yeah. Hello guys, it is Thursday. It's around 12 o'clock. I have work tonight, so I soon have to head out, but I wanted to update you guys on the book and say that I finished this entire book yesterday. I didn't update you guys yesterday because I just worked all day and then I slept and then I read, but I was exhausted, so I did not have the energy to pick up the camera. But I did finish the third story, If It Bleeds, yesterday, and the fourth story, which was called Rat, yesterday. So I finished the book and I really enjoyed the last two stories, even though they were a bit weird, so to speak. So I did mention in the third story, If It Bleeds, we followed this bombing happening in a middle school in Pennsylvania, I believe, and how this woman was after the man who did it. And soon she discovers that this man has multiple identities, like multiple identities and multiple faces, like he can physically change himself, and how that's connected back to The Outsider, which is a book by Stephen King, which I have not read, which I talked about in a previous clip. So she connects him to The Outsider and talks a lot about The Outsider, so which I obviously didn't really understand what that was because I have not read that book. I'm not saying that you have to read that book before reading this one, but you do get a better understanding, and she connects everything with him because she does compare it a lot to The Outsider, which was a man that she thought back in the day and defeated back in the day. But yeah, so that's very interesting. She is planning on killing this man who has done a lot of harm, not only this bombing a middle school, but a lot of other terrible things. And his one persona is this like news reporter, so he's always there, the first one on the scene, obviously, because like he's the one doing it. So but it's really, really interesting as she's trying to get to this guy who's obviously very good at what he does, and it's not easy, and like no one would believe her if she said that she's chasing a guy that can change his physical appearance. Like that's just not happening, you know what I mean? But so it was a really cool story, and it did have a good ending in my opinion. So yeah, I do also believe that If It Bleeds was the longest story. It felt like it was the longest. I haven't really checked the pages, but I think that was the longest story and like the big main story, which is why the book is called If It Bleeds, probably. Then in the fourth and final story called Rat, we follow this man who leaves his wife and kids to go up on this trip to kind of, he's an author, so he wants to write a story, and he's been struggling to write a story, so he goes off in the middle of the nowhere in the cabin, like in the middle of the woods, snowing, to like isolate himself to make his inspiration come back so he can write, because he's an author and he hasn't written in a while and just needs to get his like spark back, I guess. And there is a storm coming, so he kind of gets snowed in, and it's like a whole thing. He gets sick, he's gotten a fever, and he's just not doing well, but he is writing his book though. And then one evening he hears someone outside his door knocking, and he opens up and there's a rat that's like hurt, so he lets the rat in and kind of decides, okay, should I kill the rat to make him like stop suffering? That's usually kind of a thing you do for animals. If they're hurting, you want to stop the suffering, but he decides not to kill it. And then the next morning the rat is gone, so he's like, okay, it was fine, like it lived, otherwise it would have died. But the rat doesn't end there. The rat comes back and the rat can speak. And I don't know if this, like, I think you can interpret it in different ways. Maybe like he was very, very sick and had a fever and just imagined these things, but you don't really get an idea of that. You don't really get an answer to what was actually going on. But you do have a talking rat that makes a deal with this guy that, okay, you are gonna finish your book and get it published if one of your loved ones die. He agrees to this deal, strangely, because he's, I don't know, I guess he just wants to succeed with his book. And days go by and he thinks he just imagined it because no one of his loved one dies. But he does finish his book, it's great, everyone loves it. And then one day his really close friend dies, but not only he, also his wife. So now he's really, really scared and furious because he didn't go along with two people dying. He only made a deal that one person was gonna die, so it's a whole thing. He goes back to this cabin because he obviously went home to his family when he was done with the book to search up this rat, and the rat is still there, and he confronts him and it's like, this is not the deal that we made. But the rat is like, I never said that only one person was gonna die, and end of story. Like it's really, really fucking weird, and I don't know how to interpret it. Like maybe the author went crazy at the cabin alone in the middle of a snowstorm. Like there was no electricity, no heat, like barely had any good food. Maybe he just imagined the whole thing, but like you don't get an answer to that. As I mentioned, I think it's kind of free to interpret, but it was interesting. But it was a very, very quick and short story as well. But yeah, very interesting, as you can hear. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book in total, in general, and I've tabbed it, as you can see. I don't know if you can see, but quite a many tabs of things that I enjoyed or found funny or found cool or found interesting. And I'm really glad I finally read this book because it's been on my shelf for quite some time now. But yeah, it was a great book. I think my next read is gonna be the new Grady Hendrix book that I bought that you saw in my last vlog. I've forgotten the name now, but I'm probably gonna start that tomorrow because now I have to head off to work, and or tonight, I don't know. But I am gonna end the vlog here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in one of my next videos. Bye.